Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So what's up? I'm Bia Brian, and today I just wanted to kind of discuss something that's been kind of on my mental lately. And it has to actually do with church. So I just ask that you guys have an open mind. Understand that I am not a pastor or a preacher. Understand that this is all what I believe, and what I have come to notice and I have observed. So I'm not trying to step on no toes, okay? What you believe is what you believe. That's fine, okay? But this is a safe space where we're able to share our opinions without coming down on each other or coming down on one another. All right? So here we go. Now, I am a strong believer that when it comes to my people, brown people, and I'm going to say this. I'm not just saying brown people experience this. I'm not just saying black people experience this. But what I am going to say is that there is a such thing as systematic oppression, okay? And from my experience, what I have observed is that churches can aid in systematic oppression, okay? And the way that they aid in systematic oppression is by actually teaching complacency. Ooh, yeah, I know. So here's the thing, right? So I definitely do identify with being a Christian. I definitely do identify Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, okay? Grew up in a Pentecostal and Apostolic church. So I'm not saying that I disagree with all the teachings. I'm not saying that the teachings are wrong, but what I am saying is that if you go to certain churches, and this is something that I observe, I don't go to churches where the only person who is prosperous is the pastor. I just don't. I feel as though if my father is a king, which he is, he's a king, right? He's a God. Okay, he's my father. He doesn't want me to live life as a peasant. Like, he doesn't want for me to live an unfulfilled life, right? If he can bless me abundantly, and the same thing that he does for me, he can do for you, and the same thing that he does for him, he can do for her, I don't have to be broke. And I don't have to be complacent. And I don't have to settle for less than what I deserve, because again, my father is a king. So therefore I am royalty. So yeah, I'm not settling for $7.25 an hour. So if you go to a church where they're teaching complacency, and the way that they teach the complacency is a couple different ways. Okay. So for one, they discuss patience, right? And they discuss having faith, right? And they say that, you only have to have a faith of a mustard seed. Cool. But what the conversation that I'm missing is the faith without works is dead. Okay. So you can have all the faith that you want. You can sit there, you can pray every day. You can pray from Sunday to Sunday, right? For something to change. But unless you work on it, unless you actively pursue, unless you actively put yourself into it and you make some things happen, then guess what? That faith means absolutely nothing. Okay, so yes, you have to have faith. Yes, you need nothing but belief. You have to believe, okay, wholeheartedly that this is going to happen for you. But you also have to work, right? You also have to do some things yourself, right? So if all you're doing is sitting and praying and having faith, but we're not actively doing anything. If you're sitting and praying for a better job, but you haven't applied for anything, if you're sitting and praying for that degree, but then you also don't study, you also don't do everything that you can to make sure that you're achieving the things that you want to achieve, then you're not working. You're not working towards it. Okay, see, the doors are going to open as you work. Right? As you work, as you push forward, what's going to happen is those things are going to start to fall. Those blessings are going to start to fall out of the sky. But they can't do that if you're doing nothing. If you're dormant and you're not doing absolutely nothing, just nothing. Come on, y'all. We have to work. But see, when we teach that you just have to have faith and you don't have to work, then what happens is you become complacent. You end up sitting still in a space, patiently waiting on something to change. But you have the power within you to change those things, though. Like, you do realize that. Because, again, your father is a king. Your father is a God. So, if your father is a God and there is power in your words, power in your tongue, meaning you can speak it as though it is, right? You can speak things into existence. So you can speak things into existence because you have what? Power. You guys have power. So you have to work though. Like you have to work. So that complacency, that just chilling, just waiting, just praying, just having faith, just not doing anything. You're not changing your circumstances. So now you wonder why people are questioning God, saying, God, I've been praying for this for 10 years and I'm still in the same position. Well, you haven't done any work. It's not God's fault. He did not bless you because you're less than anybody else. You didn't do what you needed to do. But unfortunately, I'm experiencing, and I've been hearing and watching other pastors and preachers and going to different churches, and they're not teaching that aspect of things. They're not teaching the work that has to take place, right? So we're being complacent and we're being dormant, okay? And the reason why that plays into the systematic oppression is because it's a mindset. See, in order for something to be systematic, that means that it creates a mindset. It creates a system, right? It plays into the system of everything else. It plays into the welfare. It plays into not having the health insurance. It plays into the minimum wage jobs. It plays into us not fulfilling our full potential. And being that the Christian community is so dominant in the Black community, and those teachings are so dominant in the Black community, then what do you have? You have Black people that are praying and not working. And that's exactly what they want us to do. They want us to pray, not work, not read for ourselves, not interpret for ourselves, to listen. Because y'all do understand that this is the same Bible that they used to put us into slavery. So all I'm saying is, it's up to interpretation. So you have to read things for yourself. You have to pray for understanding for yourself. Another thing that is taught, and I say this is taught because I've definitely been told the same things in regards to church, that you're not supposed to want more. That wanting more is being greedy. And see, the thing with that is, again, if my father is a king and I am royalty, then I'm supposed to be living a certain type of way. And with that being said, it's not necessarily being greedy. It's just asking for what it is that he actually said that he would give me, which is abundance. $7.25 an hour is not an abundance of anything. So for a pastor or deacon or minister or whoever to then say that because I want more, I'm being greedy, meaning I should settle. But how do you settle if it's abundant? See, blessing me past my wildest dreams means that my mind can't even grasp the things that God has in store for me. My mind can't even imagine the things that God has in store for me. So again, how is that being greedy? Really, that just means that they're teaching us to think small. And I don't serve a small God. My God is not small at all. He's infinite. Infinite, you guys. Infinite. Like, go on forever. All I'm saying is, let's change the narrative. Until next time, make sure you like, share, and subscribe below.